Hello everyone and welcome to Sidestreet Snackshop. Today we'll be making miso banana bread. So this is actually based off of and adapted from a recipe from Food 52. The miso banana bread recipe is developed by Yijun Lo, and I've changed it up a bit by adding up a couple different mixings in there, as well as a different type of miso. And the reason why I did this is just because I often find myself tempted to buy things in bulk, and I found that with miso you can only buy it in a large tub, and so it's really hard to find recipes to use up all of that miso unless you're making soup or ramen often enough. So for this recipe, I started with 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and then to that I'm going to add a tablespoon of baking powder. And then just whisk it all together. Okay, I'm going to set the dry ingredients aside for now while we start working on all of the wet ingredients. To a large bowl, I'm going to add 3 very, very ripe bananas. These might be a little too ripe, but I don't have another use for them right now. At least it'll make it easier for mashing. Okay, now we're just going to mash up these bananas really well. You want to get it pretty well mixed. Then now we'll work on the rest of the wet ingredients. So I'm going to be using 1/2 cup of soft coconut oil. Still want it a little bit solid, but not hard because it'll make it very difficult to mix together. And then to that coconut oil, I will be adding in a 1/2 cup of coconut sugar. You can use a mix of brown and white sugar, which is what's used in the original recipe. I'm just using what I have at home. Maybe just a touch more sugar. And then I'm just going to use a whisk to mash all of that together. What I find with coconut oil is that it does take some patience and time to mix it together with the sugar. It'll start to look a bit sandy, and that's totally okay. Just use your spatula to get all of the bits of sugar and coconut oil outside from the inside of the spatula of the whisk, and then you can just use the spatula to mix it together. And then now to that coconut oil and sugar mixture, I will be adding a total of 2 eggs. These are room temperature eggs. You don't want to use cold ones because it'll just cause the coconut oil to solidify, and then you'll get clumps of oil, and it will, as it bakes in the oven, it'll create pools of oil and the texture will be a bit off. So you do want to make sure that while your coconut oil is softening on the counter for this recipe, you can leave 2 eggs out as well. So I'll just start with the first egg and then just really mix it thoroughly so that it's quite evenly distributed in the coconut oil and brown sugar mixture. And likewise with the eggs and the coconut oil, the miso should have been left out to come to room temperature as well. Here I'm adding in a tablespoon of red miso, and I switched to using a fork because that just helps with mixing the miso in to start, and then you can transition back to the whisk. And again, you'll want to really mix it in thoroughly because you don't want to have some large salty chunks of miso while you're eating your banana bread. And now that that's well mixed, we can add in that second egg. There we go. You can see how evenly mixed all the wet ingredients are. And then now from there we can add in the bananas. once most of the flour has been mixed together, you can actually choose to add in whatever mixings you want. Maybe you want to add some nuts in there. I've got some chocolate chips that I'm trying to finish, although I'll be honest, I ate most of them by hand. So I'll just toss some of the chocolate chips into that mixture. And again, just gently fold all of your mixings into the batter. To easily lift out your pan after your loaf after you've baked it, I line my loaf pan with a sheet of parchment paper. Then once all the batter is in the pan, you'll want to just smooth out the top with a spatula, pop it into the oven for about 60 minutes or so, depending on your oven, and now comes the long wait. It's a lovely, lovely golden color. It smells so good. It smells sweet with like a hint of kind of a bit of a savoriness to it. Super soft and fluffy, and it tastes so good. If you've got any leftover miso that you have at home, just throw it into a baked good and it brings out this really deep, rich flavor in it. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Sidestreet Snackshop. If you get a chance to try out this recipe, let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, enjoy!